Hello and assalamu alaikum everybody. I'm going to try and talk to you, I'll attempt to explain to you the issues surrounding the census that's going on in Sindh in particular and in Karachi in particular, and why the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, the PTI, does not agree with the results as being shared by the Bureau of Statistics of Pakistan, and the various issues that surround it. To understand that, we'll have to first go back to the last census, which was conducted in 2017 under Nawaz Sharif's government. Now, the two major parties in power right now in the center that were like important to Karachi at this point were Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and MQM, and they were allied at that point. So they refused to accept the count, which were in Karachi, which was close to 16 million, stating that they believed the count was much higher, and they demanded a recount, a more transparent count as well. Now, just them not agreeing to these results were causing a few issues. The court intervened, and the court ordered them to sign the agreement to sign the census, which they did. However, in 2018, after Imran Khan's party, after PTI came into power, they passed a bill stating that the next census, instead of taking place 10 years later, would then take place 5 years in 5 years to adjust the change, the correct numbers. Right. So coming back to the present, now the new census, the count starts. Allegedly, and this is from me talking to a couple of people who are in Karachi, people who are very involved with the issues that the people of Karachi face, and so they tell me that the census started with people coming door to door accounting. Teams made pretty much like like they usually are made. However, a source says that these teams did not appear to be very knowledgeable about the divisions, about the way the constituencies were built, and they did not know a lot, and they were not doing very thorough counting. So this person gave me the example of their own family, their extended family, who were living in a housing with, say, 2 or 3 floors, and they said that they came into the house, they counted the people on the ground floor, the first floor. They did not count the family. The family on the second floor were out at that point. And they said that they would come back and count, and 2 months on, nobody has come back and counted any numbers. Another source said that they were talking to some people who were who lived in apartments. These were like, say, four floors in the apartment, and each floor had, say, 4 units, 4 house. So the first floor, they would come and count the numbers, the heads on all 4 units on that floor. On the first floor, then they would go on the next one, and they would count maybe only 3 out of 4, maybe skip, and then they would skip a floor, and then go on and skip a few units inside those apartment complexes. And those are, they say, very common stories coming from a lot of houses in Karachi. So loosely speaking, the numbers were not counted correctly. Now, the record areas so then the records were passed on, and those records were not, for the longest period of time, revealed. Whatever records were there were not revealed. Here comes the really, really funny part, that allegedly, when the records were revealed, which were as of the 30th of April 2023, the Pakistan Bureau of Statistics revealed close to 18 million people. So it was like, roughly 17,819, something like close to 18 million people. Now, here's the funny bit, that the government says that we will give you an increase of, say, 1.8 million from the numbers that we have counted. The Jamaat Islami, which is another party in Karachi that gets, votes from Karachi, are insisting on 2.75 million. Like, it's weird. It is just so unimaginable that they're kind of haggling and they're negotiating on numbers, something as simple as just going there and counting the heads. Where do the negotiations even come from, right? Okay, and then you would probably have heard the term ulti ginti, or like, reverse count. So I'm going to talk to you about that. Now, Arslan Taj from Karachi, PTI's leader from Karachi, he has taken this case on and he's working on it a lot. And he gives some figures where he states that flood affected people from Larkana. So he's like, they say Larkana and other places in interior Sindh, after the floods, they had moved to Karachi. They had come to various, more urban centers. Now, it's funny because now here are the numbers that I have over here. They say that in Larkana, which is interior Sindh, which is mostly a Bhutto, a People's Party area, has an 1.8 million increase in population, whereas just like a similar increase in the population in Karachi, say 1.7, 1.8, or close to 1.7 million. And it just does not make sense that an urban center that had population migrate to it has less of an increase in population than a place that had people migrating from it. So it just does not make sense. Now, here's the deal. Here is why these numbers are also important. Now, at the politics of it, it's important because if you cut down the number of people, the population of Karachi, that means that it's going to lose seats. There'll be fewer seats from Karachi in forming the provincial assemblies and also in the National Assembly, right? And this would obviously cut down seats that PTI would have, right, from Karachi, so that would affect the seats over there. But that's just the political part of it. There is a bigger socioeconomic issue with it. I mean, there is a huge diversity of population here. There are unaccounted for people who came from the then East Pakistan, which then became Bangladesh. So as soon as partition happened in 1971, they just chose to leave the now Bangladesh, and they had just moved to Karachi. Those people were never given national identity cards. They were never given their, the citizenship or the nationality. So that would be close to 3 million of those people, and about 1.2 million of Biharis who are and then also lots of undocumented Afghanis over here. So that means there are lots and lots of heads which are just not even accounted for. Right now, there are also people who come from various other parts of the province or even other parts of Pakistan for business because it's the economic hub. Now, these people, if you are not counting these people properly, the problem is then that it affects the water supply, the electric, it affects all the other amenities that are needed. The money that is given for roads, water, gas, everything. And how then do you effectively run a city, a metropolis the size of Karachi, if you don't even have the basic numbers? Once again, it always boils down to incompetence, corruption, bribery, and coercion, all of which are hallmarks of not just the PDM, but also People's Party. Until next time, take care.